Hey there, thanks for tuning in for the final installation of the How I Tumble Rocks series. This is part 4 of 4. I'll drop the links for the other videos down in the description. I didn't have the camera running when I poured out the rocks initially in there, so what I'm doing here is rinsing some water around in the barrel, and then I'll pour that out, and now I'm going to wipe out the barrel with a paper towel. And then once we get that pretty clean, we'll go ahead and go around the rim with a toothbrush and make sure that we get all of the grit out of there. And then we'll go around with a paper towel one more time. In goes the rinsed ceramic media. In goes the rinsed rocks. In goes some dish soap. On goes the lid. And then we'll get this going to get it all cleaned up. Okay, so here's a look at those rocks now that they've been washed with a little bit of dish soap along with the ceramic media. You can see they're looking really nice as we head into our final stage, stage 4 polish. Here's what we'll be using. It's a 1200 grit aluminum oxide. And we'll do a couple scoops into the barrel, 3 scoops, maybe 2.5 there, and we'll get the lid on, and I'll get this going for a week is what I'll set it at, but I'll check it after 3 or 4 days. Oftentimes that's all it needs in my experience anyway, but we'll see how this turns out. And here they are after about 5 days of tumbling. I let these go a little bit longer than I normally do, and they look fantastic. Really great shines on almost all of these, and a very cool, it looks like rose quartz, and I know it has iron inclusions, which is giving it that color, but really, really pretty in the center there. And we'll take a closer look at some of these, starting with that one. Okay, let's check out this rock. So this is that pink quartz rock that I pointed out before. Sorry about the blue glare. I left the TV on while I was filming this one, and I didn't realize it was going to show up like that. But we'll get a zoom in here, and really pretty. You can see the reddish pink iron staining that's present throughout. That big white band that's running through the middle looks like it might have some patterns going on. And the other side of the rock is really cool. It has smaller veins or fractures that are filled in with a kind of white as well. And you can see some more of the darker red and pink material that's suspended in the crystal material, but just really pretty. This is another really cool one. This is a green rock which has spiderweb fractures across all of it. We'll zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. And then it is also full of inclusions which are white and green crystal, as you can see. Just a really unique one. And here's a look at the other side. You can see all the fractures running in between, and then the really interesting little pieces of crystal that are spread throughout the rock. Just a really cool one. I haven't seen one like this before. All these are from Northern California, by the way. All right, let's check out this one. So this one you can see has some really interesting colors going on with a bluish, blackish, gray kind of background for most of this, and yellow and red that looks almost like it's penetrated some veins here, but it's making up different portions of the rock. And here's a look at the other side. We can see that there's even a bit more of the red coloration on this side and some of the yellow too. A really, really pretty rock. Let's do a little zoom in here so we can see. A little bit rough around this edge, but for the most part, really smooth and polished up very well. Okay, let's check out this rock. So this one is really cool. It's got a black and white speckle pattern going on with some bigger pieces of the white material and a couple of veins or fractures that have been filled in as well. But this polished up really nicely. I'm not sure what the material is, but really cool one. Oh yeah, here's the yellow crew. So these guys all turned out really well. I love these yellow jaspers, and these are 3 really nice ones. Lots of nice variation on the yellow, and the patterns running through them are pretty cool as well. Here's a few other ones. So these ones had a little bit of pink in them, or at least 2 of them did. And the other one looks more like green and white and blue maybe. But I was interested in these mostly because of the pink color. I don't see that very often. And then obviously because they're conglomerates or breccia of some sort. But although some of the inclusions are quite angular, so I actually don't know. Okay, let's check out this group. So this one, except for the striking blue and red rock, all of these are agate or crystal material. As you can see, there's a little round blue one, a couple of orange ones. That larger piece has some purple and green going on, lots of cool colors. And then this last group was some various greens and blues. And as you can see, all these have different kinds of inclusions going on, but they all polished up really well. All in all, this was just a really pretty batch of rocks, and it was a really cool one to take from start to finish with everybody. So thanks for checking these out. And let me know what you thought down in the comments, any favorites, surprised about how any of the rocks turned out, and I will see you next time.